What if I told you that the darkest moments in life could lead to the most unexpected and beautiful love stories? Imagine a young, talented pianist who loses her ability to play after a devastating accident. You might think her story ends in silence, but what if this tragedy is just the beginning? What if her journey through pain and rehabilitation not only brings her back to the music she loves, but also leads her to a love that transforms her life? This is not just a story of recovery. It's a tale that challenges our deepest beliefs about resilience, the healing power of music, and the incredible ways that love can grow from the ashes of despair. Intrigued? Let's dive into Claire and Andrew's remarkable journey of rediscovery and love. Claire's life was a symphony of melodies and harmonies, each note a part of her soul. As a young, talented pianist, the piano was not just an instrument to her. It was an extension of her being. She lived for the music she created, the magic her fingers conjured from the keys. But in one tragic moment, her world fell silent. It was a rainy afternoon when the accident happened. Claire was driving home from a concert, the exhilaration of a successful performance still buzzing in her veins. The roads were slick, visibility poor, but she was confident. In a split second, everything changed. Another car skidded out of control and crashed into hers. The sound of metal crunching against metal was deafening, but for Claire, it marked the beginning of an eerie, terrifying silence. When she woke up in the hospital, the first thing she noticed was the pain. It radiated from her hands, her arms, making her wince with every movement. Panic set in as she realized she couldn't feel her fingers properly. Desperately, she tried to move them, to make them obey her will, but they remained stubbornly unresponsive. Tears blurred her vision as the reality sank in. She might never play the piano again. Days turned into weeks, and Claire's hospital room became a place of reflection and sorrow. Her hands were bandaged, the doctors cautiously optimistic but non-committal about her recovery. She received visits from friends and family, their faces etched with concern, but their words did little to lift her spirits. The piano, once her solace, now seemed like a distant dream. One evening, as the sun set and cast a warm glow through the window, Claire's parents sat beside her. Her mother gently took her bandaged hand, her eyes filled with love and determination. "Claire, we know this is hard, but you're strong. You've always been strong. We believe you can get through this." Her father nodded, his voice steady. "We found a great physiotherapist. His name is Andrew. He specializes in hand injuries and comes highly recommended. We're going to get through this together, Claire." Despite her despair, Claire felt a glimmer of hope. She agreed to meet Andrew, though part of her feared it would be another dead end. The first session was set for the following week, and Claire couldn't help but feel a mix of anxiety and anticipation. The day of her first physiotherapy session arrived. Claire was wheeled into the rehabilitation room, her heart pounding in her chest. Andrew greeted her with a warm smile and a gentle handshake. "Hello, Claire. I'm Andrew. I've heard a lot about you, and I'm here to help you get back to doing what you love." Claire's initial skepticism faded as she listened to Andrew explain the rehabilitation process. He was calm, confident, and, most importantly, he believed in her recovery. "It's going to be a long journey," he said, "but I promise you, we'll take it one step at a time. I'm here with you, every step of the way." Andrew's approach was both professional and compassionate. He started with gentle exercises, testing the range of motion in Claire's fingers and hands. The pain was intense, but Andrew's encouragement kept her going. "You're doing great, Claire. Just a little more, and we'll take a break." Each session was grueling, pushing Claire to her limits. There were moments when she wanted to give up, to surrender to the silence that had engulfed her life. But Andrew's unwavering support and the memory of the music she loved so dearly kept her moving forward. Slowly, painfully, she began to see progress. Tiny movements in her fingers, small victories that felt monumental. One day, after weeks of relentless effort, Claire managed to press a single key on a small keyboard Andrew had brought in. The sound was faint, but to Claire, it was the sweetest note she had ever heard. Tears of joy streamed down her face as she looked at Andrew, who smiled back at her with pride. "I told you, Claire, one step at a time." The road to recovery was still long and uncertain, But for the first time since the accident, Claire felt a spark of hope. She had found an ally in Andrew, someone who believed in her potential and was committed to helping her reclaim her passion. As she continued her rehabilitation, she began to see a future where the silence would be replaced by the beautiful music she was destined to create once more. Claire's journey to recovery truly began the day she met Andrew. He walked into the rehabilitation room with a confidence that immediately put her at ease. Tall and approachable, Andrew had a presence that combined professionalism with genuine warmth. He extended his hand to Claire, his smile reassuring. "Hello, Claire. I'm Andrew. I've been looking forward to working with you." Claire nodded, feeling a flicker of hope despite her apprehension. Andrew's office was filled with light and the gentle hum of calming music. It was a stark contrast to the sterile environment of the hospital, and Claire felt a sense of comfort as she settled into her seat. "Tell me about yourself, Claire," Andrew began, his voice calm and steady. "I want to understand what playing the piano means to you." Claire hesitated, then took a deep breath. "The piano has always been my life. It's not just an instrument to me. It's my voice, my way of expressing everything I feel. Losing that, it feels like losing a part of myself." Andrew listened intently, his eyes never leaving hers. "I can only imagine how difficult this has been for you," he said softly, "but I believe in your ability to recover, and I'm here to help you every step of the way." He explained the rehabilitation process, breaking it down into manageable steps. "We'll start with simple exercises to improve your range of motion and gradually build strength in your hands and fingers. It's going to be challenging, but I'm confident that with time and effort, you'll get there." Their first session began with basic movements. Andrew showed Claire how to gently stretch her fingers, testing their flexibility. The pain was sharp, but Andrew's encouraging words kept her going. "You're doing great, Claire. Just take it slow and steady." As the days turned into weeks, Claire's sessions with Andrew became a routine she both dreaded and looked forward to. Each session pushed her to her limits, but it also brought her a step closer to her goal. Andrew's unwavering support made all the difference. He celebrated her small victories, no matter how minor they seemed, and helped her stay motivated during the difficult moments. One afternoon, after an especially tough session, Andrew sat beside Claire as she caught her breath. "I brought something for you," he said, pulling out a small keyboard from his bag. "I thought it might help to reconnect with the music you love." Claire's eyes widened with surprise and gratitude. She hadn't touched a piano since the accident, and the sight of the keyboard stirred a mix of emotions within her. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice filled with emotion. Andrew placed the keyboard on the table in front of her. "Let's start with something simple," he suggested. "Try pressing a single key." Claire hesitated, her fingers trembling. She reached out and pressed a key, the sound faint but clear. It was a small, simple note, but to Claire, it was a powerful symbol of hope. Tears welled up in her eyes as she looked at Andrew. "I did it," she said, her voice shaky. Andrew smiled, his eyes shining with pride. "You did, and this is just the beginning." Their sessions continued, each one building on the last. Andrew introduced more complex exercises, gradually increasing the difficulty as Claire's strength and dexterity improved. He was patient and encouraging, always ready with a kind word or a gentle push when Claire needed it. Beyond the physical therapy, Andrew and Claire formed a deep bond. They shared stories about their lives, their dreams, and their struggles. Claire learned that Andrew had once been an aspiring pianist himself, before an injury had shifted his path to physiotherapy. His passion for music and understanding of her journey created a strong connection between them. One day, after a particularly successful session, Andrew suggested they try playing a simple melody on the keyboard. "I'll guide you through it," he said. "Let's take it one note at a time." Claire's hands trembled as she placed them on the keys, but Andrew's presence beside her gave her confidence. Together, they played a short, simple tune. The sound filled the room, each note a testament to Claire's hard work and determination. As the melody came to an end, Claire looked at Andrew, her eyes shining with tears of joy. "Thank you," she said. "I couldn't have done this without you." Andrew shook his head. "You've done the hard work, Claire. I'm just here to help you along the way." Their journey was far from over, but Claire felt a renewed sense of hope and purpose. With Andrew by her side, she knew she could face the challenges ahead. Together, they were taking the first steps toward reclaiming the music that had always been a part of her soul. Claire's journey of recovery was anything but easy. Each day presented new challenges, both physical and emotional. But with Andrew's unwavering support, she found the strength to face them head-on. Their sessions became more intense as Claire's hands gradually regained their strength and flexibility. The exercises were grueling, often pushing Claire to her breaking point. She would sit in the rehabilitation room, sweat pouring down her face, her hands aching from the strain. But each time she felt like giving up, Andrew was there, encouraging her to keep going. "Remember why you're doing this," Andrew would say, his voice steady and calm. "Every bit of progress brings you closer to the music you love." One particularly tough session involved a series of intricate finger exercises designed to improve Claire's dexterity. Her frustration mounted as she struggled to complete the movements, her fingers refusing to cooperate. She slammed her hands down on the table, tears of frustration welling up in her eyes. "I can't do this, Andrew," she cried. "It's too hard." Andrew knelt beside her, taking her hands gently in his. "Claire, you're one of the strongest people I know. Look at how far you've come. It's okay to feel frustrated, but don't let it stop you. You can do this. I believe in you." Claire took a deep breath, Andrew's words giving her the resolve to try again. She focused on the exercises, her determination rekindled. Slowly but surely, her fingers began to respond, completing the movements with increasing precision. The small victories fueled her determination, each success a step closer to her ultimate goal. As weeks turned into months, Claire's progress was undeniable. She moved from simple finger exercises to more complex tasks, each one building her strength and confidence. Andrew introduced new challenges, always pushing her to reach further, to strive for more. One day, Andrew brought a full-size keyboard to their session. "I think you're ready for this," he said, setting it up in front of her. "Let's try playing a piece you know well. Something simple to start with." Claire's heart raced as she positioned her hands over the keys. It had been so long since she had played a full piece of music. She chose a simple melody, one she had played countless times before the accident. As her fingers moved over the keys, the familiar notes filled the room. It wasn't perfect. There were missed notes and moments of hesitation, but it was music. Her music. Tears streamed down Claire's face as she played, the joy of rediscovery overwhelming her. Andrew watched with a smile, his heart swelling with pride. "You did it, Claire," he said softly. "You're playing again." The road to recovery wasn't without setbacks. There were days when the pain was too much, when the frustration threatened to overshadow her progress. But each time, Claire found the strength to persevere. She leaned on Andrew's support, drawing from his confidence in her abilities. Beyond the physical challenges, Claire also faced emotional hurdles. The trauma of the accident lingered, casting a shadow over her progress. She struggled with fear and doubt, questioning whether she would ever fully recover. Andrew addressed these concerns with the same compassion and understanding he showed during their physical therapy sessions. "Recovery isn't just about the physical," Andrew told her during one of their conversations. "It's about healing your mind and spirit too. You've been through a lot, and it's okay to feel scared. But don't let that fear hold you back. You're stronger than you know." With Andrew's guidance, Claire began to work through her emotional barriers. She started journaling, using writing as an outlet for her fears and frustrations. She also sought support from a therapist, someone who could help her navigate the mental and emotional aspects of her recovery. As she continued to heal, Claire discovered a resilience within herself that she hadn't known existed. She found joy in the small moments of progress, each one a testament to her determination and strength. The music she played on the keyboard became a symbol of her journey, a reminder of how far she had come. Andrew and Claire's bond grew stronger with each passing day. They shared more than just a therapist-patient relationship. They shared a mutual respect and admiration. Andrew's belief in Claire never wavered, and Claire drew strength from his unwavering support. One evening, after a particularly successful session, Andrew suggested they go for a walk. The sun was setting, casting a golden glow over the landscape. As they walked, Claire felt a sense of peace and accomplishment. "I never thought I'd get this far," she admitted. "But with your help, I feel like anything is possible." Andrew smiled, his eyes filled with pride. "You've done the hard work, Claire. I've just been here to guide you. Your determination is what's brought you this far, and it will carry you forward." As they walked together, Claire felt a renewed sense of hope and possibility. Her journey was far from over, but she knew that with Andrew by her side, she could face any challenge. The road to recovery had been long and arduous, but it had also been transformative. Claire had rediscovered her strength, her passion, and her music, and with each step forward, she moved closer to the future she had once thought lost. Claire's journey had been filled with trials and triumphs, but the day had finally come when she was ready to sit at a grand piano once again. It was an emotional milestone, the culmination of months of relentless effort and unwavering support from Andrew. The grand piano sat in the center of the rehabilitation room, its polished surface gleaming under the soft lights. Claire approached it slowly, her heart pounding with a mixture of excitement and anxiety. Andrew stood beside her, his presence a steadying force. "Are you ready?" he asked gently. Claire nodded, her hands trembling slightly as she sat down on the bench. She placed her fingers on the keys, feeling their familiar smoothness. For a moment, she closed her eyes, taking a deep breath and letting the memories of her music wash over her. The first notes she played were tentative, a simple melody that she knew by heart. The sound filled the room, rich and clear, and for the first time since the accident, Claire felt the music flow through her with a sense of freedom and joy. Her fingers moved more confidently, finding their rhythm, and the melody grew more complex. Andrew watched with a smile, his heart swelling with pride. "You're doing beautifully, Claire," he said, his voice barely above a whisper, not wanting to break the spell. Claire lost herself in the music, her fingers dancing across the keys with increasing confidence and grace. The room seemed to disappear, leaving only her and the piano, the music a bridge between her past and her present. She played pieces she had known for years, their familiar melodies bringing tears to her eyes. Each note was a testament to her journey, a celebration of her resilience. As the final notes of the piece echoed in the room, Claire's hands fell still. She looked up at Andrew, her eyes shining with tears. "I did it," she whispered, a smile breaking across her face. "I'm playing again." Andrew stepped closer, placing a comforting hand on her shoulder. "You did it, Claire. I always knew you could." The resurgence of Claire's music was not just a personal victory, but also a testament to the power of determination and support. Her story began to spread, inspiring others who faced their own challenges. People from all walks of life reached out to her, sharing their own journeys of recovery and finding strength in her story. Claire started performing small recitals at the rehabilitation center, playing for fellow patients and staff. The music brought a sense of hope and healing to everyone who listened. Each performance was a celebration of life, a reminder that even in the face of adversity, beauty and joy could still be found. One evening, after a particularly moving recital, Andrew approached Claire with an idea. "How would you feel about organizing a benefit concert?" he suggested. "We could raise funds for the rehabilitation center and show others what's possible with hard work and determination." Claire's eyes lit up with excitement. "I'd love that," she said. "It would be an honor to give back and help others on their journey." The concert was scheduled for a few months later, giving Claire time to prepare a program that showcased her recovery and talent. She poured her heart and soul into her practice, determined to make the event a success. Andrew was by her side every step of the way, offering support and encouragement. The night of the concert arrived, and the hall was filled with friends, family, and supporters. The atmosphere was electric, a buzz of anticipation filling the air. Claire stood backstage, her heart racing, but this time it was with excitement, not fear. Andrew joined her, giving her hand a reassuring squeeze. "You've got this, Claire. Just go out there and share your gift with the world." As Claire stepped onto the stage, the audience erupted in applause. She took a deep breath, settling herself at the piano. The first notes she played were soft and tentative, but as she continued, the music grew in strength and confidence. Each piece she played told a part of her story, from the despair of her accident to the triumph of her recovery. The final piece was one that held special significance, a composition she had written herself during her journey of healing. The music was filled with emotion, a blend of sorrow and joy, struggle and victory. As she played the last note, the audience rose to their feet, the applause thunderous and heartfelt. Claire stood, tears streaming down her face as she bowed. The concert was not just a performance but a celebration of resilience, of the power of music to heal and inspire. Andrew joined her on stage, and together, they thanked the audience for their support and shared a moment of quiet triumph. The benefit concert was a resounding success, raising funds and awareness for the rehabilitation center. Claire's story continued to inspire others, her music a beacon of hope for those facing their own challenges. With Andrew by her side, she knew that her journey was far from over, but she faced the future with confidence and joy. The resurgence of Claire's music marked a new beginning, a chapter filled with possibilities and purpose. She had rediscovered her passion, not just for playing the piano, but for living life to the fullest. And with each note she played, she celebrated the strength and determination that had brought her back to the music she loved. As Claire's fingers danced across the piano keys, the music that filled the room was a testament to her journey of resilience and recovery. The benefit concert had been a triumph, and the weeks that followed were filled with new beginnings and unexpected joys. Andrew had been by her side through every step of her recovery, his unwavering support becoming a source of strength for Claire. Their bond had deepened over time, blossoming into something neither of them had anticipated. One evening, after a particularly moving rehearsal, they found themselves walking through a nearby park, the air filled with the fragrance of blooming flowers. "Claire," Andrew began, his voice soft yet filled with emotion, "seeing you play again has been one of the greatest joys of my life. You've inspired me in ways I can't even begin to describe." Claire looked up at him, her eyes shining. "Andrew, I couldn't have done any of this without you. You've been my rock, my guide. And somewhere along the way, I realized I've fallen in love with you." Andrew's heart swelled with emotion. "I love you too, Claire. Your strength, your passion, your spirit, it's all incredible. I want to be with you, to share all the moments of joy and support you through any challenges that come our way." Their love story was a natural extension of their shared journey. Together, they found a harmony that complemented their individual strengths and dreams. They continued to work at the rehabilitation center, helping others find their own paths to recovery. Claire's music became a central part of the center's therapy programs, her story a beacon of hope for new patients. One afternoon, while Claire was teaching a young patient how to play a simple melody on the piano, Andrew entered the room with a thoughtful expression. After the session ended, he approached Claire, a spark of excitement in his eyes. "I've been thinking about expanding our work," he said. "What if we started a foundation to provide music therapy to people all over the country?" Claire's eyes widened with enthusiasm. "That's a fantastic idea, Andrew. Music has such a powerful healing effect. We could help so many more people." They set to work on the foundation, combining their skills and passion to create an organization dedicated to healing through music. The foundation quickly gained support, and soon, they were traveling to different cities, establishing music therapy programs in hospitals and rehabilitation centers. As the foundation grew, so did their love. They shared moments of quiet joy, like evenings spent composing new pieces of music together, and days filled with laughter and teamwork. Each challenge they faced only strengthened their bond, and their shared vision for the future brought them closer than ever. One evening, after a particularly successful event for the foundation, Andrew took Claire's hand and led her to the stage. "I have something I want to say," he began, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "Claire, you've brought so much light and love into my life. You've shown me the true power of resilience and the beauty of the human spirit. I want to spend the rest of my life with you, facing every challenge and celebrating every joy together. Will you marry me?" Tears filled Claire's eyes as she nodded, overwhelmed with happiness. "Yes, Andrew. Yes, I will marry you." Their wedding was a celebration of love, resilience, and the power of music. Friends, family, and colleagues gathered to witness their union, the air filled with joy and harmony. Claire walked down the aisle to a beautiful melody she had composed, a symbol of their journey and the love that had grown from it. As they exchanged vows, they promised to support each other, to nurture their love, and to continue their work of healing through music. Their lives together were filled with shared dreams and mutual respect, each day a new note in their symphony of love. Claire and Andrew's future was bright, filled with endless possibilities. They traveled the world, bringing the healing power of music to those in need. Their foundation flourished, touching countless lives and inspiring new generations of musicians and therapists. Through it all, Claire continued to play the piano, her music a testament to her journey of recovery and love. Each performance was a celebration of life, a reminder that even in the face of adversity, joy and beauty could be found. Their love story was a symphony, each note a reflection of their shared journey. Together, they faced challenges, celebrated triumphs, and built a future filled with hope and love. Claire and Andrew's story was one of resilience, passion, and the unbreakable bond of love, a bright future built on the harmony of their hearts.